All new at 5:30 tonight, CBS 6 continuing our weekly Power and Politics segment. Our Tom Eshin sitting down with the CEO of the Albany Black Chamber of Commerce, Deshanna Wiggins. They discuss the Albany Black Chamber's role in facilitating black and minority-owned businesses in the city, but also some of the larger challenges facing those populations right now. And Tom joins us tonight with their conversation.
You hosted a roundtable with Paul Tonko recently.
I did.
And there was residents that were outspoken, and it was described as a bit of a, I wouldn't say intense, but it was a very passionate event. What did you learn, not only from the congressman, but also from what some of those individuals were saying? Was it Albany High, I believe that's what it was? Yeah.
Yes, my alma mater, actually. So I spent a lot of time on that stage, this time in a different capacity. What I was able to take from that is that at the end of the day, people want to be seen and they want to be heard. There's one, Paul Tonko, Congressman Tonko, is an amazing congressman, and he has done great work and been an assist to the chamber. But what I realize is that folks want to hear more about your specific plan and how we're planning to actually fight back, right? It's one thing to say that these things that are happening, especially in our political climate right now, are not beneficial or not impacting. But what are we going to actually do to make sure that it doesn't further? And so what I learned from the individuals that day was that though they were very passionate, I understood. I got their sentiment that they were speaking up for their rights and they wanted their advocate to be able to do the very same. Yeah,
there's one issue I did want to ask you about, and that's DEI, and that's been thrown around a lot recently. And I found a clip on the internet the other day. I wanted you to give you an opportunity to respond to this. Is that some individuals in the defense of getting rid of it at different levels of corporate America, whatever it's going to be, is that they quote Martin Luther King and say, judge someone not by the color of the skin, but the content of their character. And they say they justify getting rid of DEI by that. How do you respond to that?
That's very interesting. I think we have to really look at what they're stating and then what is actually happening. When we're talking about those DEI measures, especially looking at the African American demographic, it's funny, I was just looking at a stat that I repeated earlier this year. And it says that, based on New York State's Comptroller's Office, they say that we are leading in minority-owned businesses. And the African-American population is about a little less than 15% in the state of New York. However, of the businesses that are owned, only 3.4% of them are owned by black people. So if you're looking at that and you're saying that these measures need to be repealed, we're less than 5%. So I don't think that folks are really actually looking at the data and understanding that for our particular demographic, we're still trying to break down these barriers. So I think these DEI measures are actually helping non-black minority individuals. And I think what will end up happening is we'll come back around to see that this is going to kind of bite them. It's going to be a situation where it's going to impact our nation greatly, especially when we're thinking about who falls under this minority bracket. White women fall under that, and typically they're the ones who leverage these DEI advantages. And so we'll see. We'll see.
Why is it important? Why do you believe diversity, equity, and inclusion is something that should be an initiative that this country uses right now?
I think it's important because the stats say so. We absolutely, as a black woman, I'm going to say that my voice matters and that I matter. That is absolutely true to me, and it should be true to everyone else. However, I also know the data, and the data says that if you have a diverse board, if you have a diverse employee base, your business does better by 40%. What business doesn't want to do better by almost 40%, right? And so in order for you to have a better product, in order for you to have anything better, you have to have a diverse response to it. You have to know how your product will do in the market. And the market isn't just one person, one way, right? And so I think it's really important for us to understand that this is not about trying to jump ahead of the line. DEI measures have existed because historically we weren't chosen, even though we were overqualified. So yeah.
Does it frustrate you the way it's used in some ways now?
Absolutely.
Part of the rhetoric? Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it frustrates all of us. But again, being what some would consider at the bottom of the totem pole, a Black and a woman, I understand that this is kind of how the ecosystem has worked in my experience on this earth. And so I believe that this is a time, it will pass. We have to stay the course and do our work.